Heavy hitters. Wow, what a slick new reveal and video that was. That music was epic. Am I right? What can we expect to see in the latest installment from LSS? Well, let's take a look and this quick first look video for the reveal of Heavy Hitters. Greetings and welcome back to Geeks First. Today, we talk about all things Flesh and Blood. Now, a quick disclaimer, we will be working with super limited information and, well, only a few cards that have been talked about so far. So, a lot of personal speculation and ideas are woven within this script. The traditional Flesh and Blood dichotomy is one hero, one class, or one talent, with very few notable exceptions like the Emperor, who shares multiple talents. After many sets where the norm was one class, or one class and one talent, Outsiders surprised us all with a fresh new approach where instead of using a single class and a single talent, some cards evolved and had a dual class. This small subset of cards in Outsiders pulled from one of the three classes, Ranger, Assassin, or Ninja. Now, this can be visualized on screen here by a Venn diagram, where Ranger overlaps with Assassin, and Ninja is on the opposite side, which overlaps with Assassin. But they do not complete the circle, which is two distinct types of classes. This first go at dual class had some overlap, but not a complete pool of sharing between the three represented classes, which actually worked well for both keeping it thematic, as well as allowing cards in multi-class to be used generic, thus making it where the cards can be within a design of an idea or a class, but not as wide open as the generics, which means that there was no Ninja/Ranger cards, but hell, I'd love to see one, a Ninja Ranger. I mean, I might be able to dream one up. Now, with Heavy Hitters, the first three cards that were revealed shake up the entire dual class mentality. If we visualize the three represented classes, Warrior, Guardian, and Brute, which were the speculated, at least somewhat, direction of classes for this new set, this now shifts the three circles onto overlapping circles, creating a unique pool of shared two-class talents, which we can look to expect, along with some, I would assume, single-class cards that exist in each of these classes in Heavy Hitters as well. The dual-class system is quite amazing because it allows pools to split between classes, and when you layer the cards with other keywords like legendary or specialization, you can further refine these pools and these cards that can be used, thus turning them into certain scenarios while not breaking others wide open. The granular control allows for special verticalities within these classes, and that makes them flavorful, unique, and while getting the same cross overlay where it can be tangential to classes which may not excel as much as the other primary class in which it was intended for, but still have a synergistic approach where overall it works in tandem. Let's start with the agility token, which you'll see now on screen. It is set number HVY240, so I can only assume that the set is just shy of about 250 total cards, but again, that's a speculation at this point. Now, it says at the start of your turn, destroy this, then your next attack this turn gets go again. Now, attack being the keyword here, which is a actually major keyword and a differentiator here. Now, this is different than the quicken token, which you'll see on screen, and that says that you must play. So to gain the go again action, which would allow quicken to stick around over multiple turns, and you can play to build up for a much more targeted turn. This distinction, while small, can have a major impact on the gameplay, routes, and decisions that you might pick for certain card combinations as the game progresses. Before I continue, I do want to point out that the absolute sweet playmat that was revealed, there's some art here, and this I really hope is a dwarf, and if not, maybe a merchant. I can only hope, because this guy screams dwarves with gold, and I hope he has a pickaxe because maybe it might be a beastmaster or a pet tamer, that scar on his eyeball. I don't know what it is, but I am freaking excited. Now, also, I want to point out that there are three flags behind him, and it could be like in Outsiders where we see these symbols on cards in the text boxes in the background indicating maybe like a martial class proficiency, but again, that's just a theory, so we'll see what turns out. The three cards spoiled were Double Down, a red 2-cost Guardian, and a Warrior/Guardian action that blocks for 3 and introduces the new keyword, Wager. Now, the fun fact here is when I first read this, I actually mispronounced the word altogether, and I looked at the wife and I was like, what's wagger? Anyways, this card states that you can destroy a gold under your control rather than pay Double Down's resource cost. Now, the card itself, which you'll see on the screen, says the next attack that wagers this turn gets +3 and overpower. If a hero would create one or more tokens from a wager this turn, instead create that many +1 of each of these tokens. Go again. Now, wow, that is a heck of a lot of text on one card, and there's a lot of ways we can dissect this card. But first, let's start by saying, gold is back! Yes, we have use of more gold. It's back, baby. So buy them crowns, buy them gold, buy everything that involves copper, gold, silver, because who knows, it could be useful here. Just kidding. Don't go out and blow your life savings. This is not financial advice. Please don't listen to me. I am not a financial advisor. Walking off the screen now. Hi, and welcome back. I have thought a lot on this card, and well, it's first dual class, which means that because it's dual class and while I'm not a warrior or guardian main, I can see that this gameplay style seems to be built up a little bit different, and maybe the swing big is in line with the name Heavy Hitters, which appears to be a full physical combat set, which is a nice divergence from sets of old, which had maybe more of an arcane aspect, which is magic, but not pure arcane damage. We haven't seen a pure arcane damage set yet. Maybe that's coming. I mean, this may be the first set with dual class equipment as well. That was a kind of a general speculation. That would be pretty sweet, but that was a prediction I made way back in an analysis where I looked at the equipment and what type going forward. And there's an upcoming video where I will finish that out with the round, the table, bright lights, and add all those to my current Excel spreadsheet and talk about what might be missing from certain classes in certain positions between your head, your arms, your chest, and your legs, as well as offhand and weapon choices. Next up is Talk a Big Game, a blue, zero-cost, brute and guardian action that blocks for 3 and says, choose a number. The next time you deal that much or more physical damage to a hero, this turn, create that many more might tokens. Go again. Create that. A might token, which came out in Round the Table, and seen here on screen, is a generic token that says, at the start of your turn, destroy this, and your next attack gets +1. Now, first, this card's flavor is absolutely spot on. I'm so amazed, and I'm just happy that I'm not sure if there's going to be a full pitch stack for this, honestly. It may even be a Majestic, but this card is both a cool way and almost really a gloat while working to trick your opponent into blocking or giving you a slight advantage. So, like an example here would be if you come in with a 3 attack, but you have Talk Big where you say you're going to deal 1 damage, you can bluff with something and maybe pummel it or buff it in some other way, and then you'll get a might token. But if you Talk Big for 3 and say they take an additional 3 damage and you've claimed 3, it sounds like this token is both a risk and reward, which seems to be the underlying theme in Heavy Hitters. Last card is Runner Runner, a red brute/warrior action-attack action, which costs 2, blocks for 3, and comes in for 6. This card states, when this attacks, if it has Go Again, create an agility token. Now, this is a lot in one card, even if the text box is, well, pretty small. A 6 is a popper, and it can be discarded for an Intimidate with Brute. And also, if it doesn't soak up the 2 cards to block 6 and then gets Go Again, well, because you might have another way to buff, this is such a good card in such a small... I don't know. I see lots of good of it. I could be very wrong, but I think it's awesome. This set offers a great time to reprint cards like Glistening Steelblade, which came in the Dory vs. Rhinar 2-player starter deck, or other key cards that are from sets in the past that really have not seen a major reprint recently. Now, overall, while this is a brief initial first look and this set seems to promise some great lore, fun combos, and a bit of talking big game, who knows, we might see an adult Kasai, adult KO, adult Valda, but honestly, I wouldn't put too much time into thinking about those heroes because we may not actually see them, but similar to the Outsiders treatment, we may get a re-release of Bravo, Dory, and Rhinar, or unique possibilities with some cool young names, just like we've seen with Dusk Till Dawn with the release of Prison. Now, the artwork so far has been amazing. I'm going to flash a couple across screen here, and I can't wait to find out if there really are dwarves, gladiators, pets like Beastmasters, especially if they were in like World of Warcraft style, because that was a class I loved so much. But as we learn more about heavy hitters, we will definitely keep you in the loop. But for now, which classes will you choose, or which class will you choose, I should say, to smash that button with your two-handed axe? And yes, that is just for Riddler Man. Two-handed, one hand apiece axes right there. You called it. Congratulations, sir. Also, let's take an upcoming Fablorian video that's going to come out with, actually, Riddler Man and myself, where we're going to talk about the lore of Savage Lands. And we're going to look to see if we can get a special guest who is an expert on the Savage Lands. We're not sure if we can get that right now, but we are actively in conversation to try to make that happen, because I really want that episode to be pretty cool. Now, I honestly can't wait to incorporate these into my UPF decks. Hopefully we can see some crack shuffle playstyle with these, because the possibility is that because the triangular effect of having the dual classes on all three legs instead of just the two that were in Outsiders means that, well, there could be a situation where there could be enough cards in these packs that if you crack 4 or 5, you could go to one of those directions pretty easily. Now, there may even be Blitz decks or return of Blitz decks because they were omitted in the last set, Bright Lights, which really use the LSS/TCC or Tolarian Community College, Legend Story Studios, UPF decks as kind of a proxy for those. So, other than that, until next time, may your games be fun and your friendships grow. Cheers. We're going to have to pause because I'm going to get the dog. Hey! Last card is Runner Runner. A red brute action. Runner, 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 runner. Runner, 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 do 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 do. We're redoing it. All right. This set offers a great time to reprint Glistening Steel Blade. Steel. Okay. 3, 2, 1, redo.